same time, use the bathroom at the same time. We just want people to be excited and see us coming through. We're going to take I-75 by storm. Horrible. Oh, well, good idea. Horrible. Everything went wrong. Within 5-10 minutes of leaving, one van got lost. One van didn't want to stop because they didn't have to use the bathroom. Another van, the guy was getting ready to die because he couldn't smoke on the van and he needed a smoke break. The other driver needed coffee, and this person didn't want to eat at this particular restaurant. And I'm just like, this is only 10 minutes, and this is a 10-hour drive, okay? And so imagine if we would have stayed like this the whole way. So, you know, and this is what I say, this is what defines your character. So I'm like, hey, you know what we need to do? We need to break this up. We're going to do 3 little clusters. You're going to have 3 clusters and 3 vans in each cluster. And, you know, we had broke it down to where we had team captains, and then we had van captains, and then we had a roster of each person, their name, their number, what van they were on, so that way we could stay accountable for people. Because, it's, you know, there's reliabilities. When you're organizing, you're a leader, you have these people's lives in your hands. And, you know, and we are taking this long trip, so we wanted to make sure we knew what was going on where everybody was. So that's just one of the stories I say, you know, expect the unexpected, because we just thought this was going to be a perfect idea, that all of us were going to be able to ride down I-75 together, and it didn't happen. So that's one of those things. And I don't know if I'm running out of time, but I guess I have one more story. Check my little recycled note cards. And also, you know, when you guys are going through these trainings and you're doing this stuff with life, like, you know, real experiences, make sure you keep a record of what you're doing. And make sure you really try to learn as much as possible. I mean, here I am, I was working with PowerShift, and that was co-chair of PowerShift, and I'm trying to plan a conference for 12,000 people. And we're not in a central location, we're all over the United States. So I was in Atlanta, somebody might have been in DC, there was another person in Texas, there was another person in Oregon, where have you. And I think there was one guy that actually traveled out of the country. But the way that we had connected was through conference calls. And, you know, you have to make sure that your commitment is extremely strong. Not to mention I was an organizer and I was helping with the Obama campaign, I was a part of PowerShift. I'm a full-time student. And that's enough work within itself. And, you know, that's when I learned that if you guys are students, keep a good rapport with your professors, because my professors always looked at me crazy when I'm running out of my midterm to go get on a conference call, and I'm supposed to be taking this midterm, but they know what I'm doing. But that's why I say commitment is very, very important. I couldn't imagine, I never imagined that I would be helping with PowerShift, playing a conference, and being on the phone. I didn't see it happen. It's like, how are we going to meet? How are we going to be able to see, how are we going to be able to work and get what needs to get done? And that's when I learned a lot about myself, is that it's really up to you. You know, when you're taking those tasks like that, if you don't pull through, it'll show. But if you pull through, when you're 14 hours away, when you get there, it'll be easy. It'll be smooth sailing. And I don't know if any pictures are up there about PowerShift, but you'll just see how many people was at the conference. And it was a really awesome time. And this is just a picture with me and Ralph Nader. He was a really cool guy. I got to meet him at a conference that I went to in New Orleans. And New Orleans was a really big eye-opener for me. Because I spoke to a lot of people and noticed a lot of the trouble that was going on. They took us to Cancer Alley, and I don't know if you guys know anything about Cancer Alley, but it's in Norco, Louisiana, and I call it Shell Hell. Excuse my language, I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm supposed to be cussing or not. But in this place, Norco, Louisiana, there's this town in the middle, right? And then there's a Shell oil refinery on this side, and then there's a Shell drilling on the other side. And then these people are smack dead in the middle. And people are dying. They are dying horrible deaths because of what's being polluted, what's in the air. Cancer is running rapid. People are, the lady had told me a story of a guy that blew up because he had hit something underground. He was cutting his lawn. He blew up because they hit an underground pipe. But it's like, what do you do? Because this same company that's killing these people is also giving them money and giving them a way to live. But hearing their stories and hearing what's going on, it makes you really, it makes you want to do something. So I left New Orleans really frustrated. And like, okay, how can I help? How can I know I can't stop Shell, but I know I can stop. So I didn't use Shell gas for like a month or two, and then one day I was on E and there was the only thing next to me. So, but anywho, I say that just to be aware of really what you're getting yourself into, and if you ever feel like this movement is not progressing or that you just don't see the changes, just stop and think back and just stop and look around, because you'll see that it is a fight that we have to continue. And think about throwing a rock. You know, when you ever feel like they're like, hey, I'm gonna throw a rock for the environment, and hopefully that will be a little encouragement for you guys. So I think that's really important.